The laptop we are reviewing today, the Machenike L16 S, pushes with a 9850HX processor into the sub-$1,500 price range, truly entering the most competitive segment. Let's take a look at how it performs together. Okay, let's first look at the spec sheet. The CPU is an AMD Ryzen 9 9850HX equipped with Zen 5 architecture cores for a total of 12 cores and 24 threads. It has a massive 64MB L3 cache, and the boost clock can reach up to 5.2 GHz. This is the most entry-level model in the 9000HX series of processors. The positioning of this generation of processors is truly high-end. The graphics card is an RTX 560 laptop GPU with a total of 3072 stream processors and 8GB of VRAM. It is the definitive mainstream choice in this year's laptop market. It's paired with a 16-inch 2560 by 1600 resolution 300Hz IPS level display featuring 500 nits of high brightness and 100% P3 wide color gamut support. Out of the box, the memory is 16GB with one slot free for expansion. We chose to install two identical memory sticks to form a 32GB dual-channel setup for our testing. The storage is a 1TB PCIe 4.0 SSD with another M.2 2280 slot available. The official weight is 2.45 kilograms. The current price for this new platform gaming laptop is approximately $1,170 US. I have never seen such a price for a gaming laptop with the latest CPU platform. What do you guys think of the value for money? Since we're talking about the Zen 5 HX platform, the game test results are of course the first thing to present. We chose a top-tier laptop with an Intel 200HX series CPU as the competitor. Both were tested with dual-channel memory. At 1080p resolution, in competitive online games, the difference between them in CS2 is quite small. In Rainbow Six Siege, the Machenike L16 S is ahead by 33 frames, leading by 17.3%. In two mobile games, it's also significantly ahead. The League of Legends result is even a bit exaggerated. However, it falls slightly behind in Apex Legends. Moving to 2K resolution for competitive online games, across three shooter games, the average frame rate difference in CS2 is still in the single digits. The Machenike L16 S has a 19-frame lead in Rainbow Six Siege, with an average frame rate advantage of 14.8%. Apex Legends shows a razor-thin difference. For MOBA games, it still maintains a considerable lead. In single-player games, the average frame rate differences are within the single digits. Ghostwire Tokyo's ray tracing performance shows a 14.81% lead, while Forza Horizon 5 is behind by 13.22%. It's a bit of a give and take. Overall, the gaming performance of the Machenike L16 S meets our expectations for this generation's Ryzen HX platform. Its impressive performance in online games is especially well suited for a laptop with a 560 GPU, better aligning with the needs of its target users and making it a very competitive selling point. Under a 25°C ambient temperature with beast mode enabled in the control center, we ran a single-core FPU stress test using IDA64. The CPU power stabilized at around 121 watts with temperatures between 94 and 97°C. The maximum keyboard surface temperature was 46.9°C located at the F2 key position. The fan noise was 47.7 dBA. Using FirmMark for a single GPU stress test, the GPU power stabilized at 114 watts with temperatures between 70 and 74°C. The maximum keyboard surface temperature was 43.7°C and the fan noise was 41.1 dBA. In a dual stress test with the FPU and FirmMark, the CPU power was around 64 watts with temperatures between 72 and 77°C. The GPU power was maintained at 114 watts with a temperature of about 80°C. The maximum keyboard temperature reached 50.1°C, located between the F8 and F9 keys. The fan noise was 45.5 dBA. Overall, the thermal performance of the Machenike L16 S is very good within its price range. Even with the performance fully maxed out, sustaining a total system power of 180 watts, the service temperature and noise control are impressive. After switching to turbo performance mode, it's not loud even in a quiet room. You can still game comfortably while your roommate is sleeping. Of course, when it's your turn to be the carry, you still need to be a little careful. In theoretical performance tests, across 6 Cinebench benchmarks, the Machenike showed a slight deficit in single-core performance, but a small lead in multi-core performance. In 3D Mark tests, the time spy score was over 12,000. The Machenike's Fire Strike Extreme score reached 16,184. Overall, these are normal results for a 560. In productivity application performance, the Machenike had a small lead in every benchmark except for the Outlook test. When running on battery, performance retention is a bit weaker, with scores showing the opposite trend compared to when plugged in. In multimedia editing, the Photoshop scores showed the Machenike L16S leading by 29.7%. The Premiere Pro lead was over 1,500 points. The Lightroom Classic score difference was quite small. This Machenike L16S is equipped with a 300Hz 2K screen. Calibrated brightness across 9 zones ranged from a maximum of 489.3 nits in quadrant 5 to a minimum of 443.5 nits in quadrant 9. The average brightness is high, 469.2 nits. Brightness uniformity is quite good. The color gamut covers 100% of P3. In terms of color accuracy, the average delta E is 1.67 and the maximum is 3.41. The color temperature is 7300K and the contrast ratio is 1180:1. Overall, the quality of this screen is excellent. Furthermore, the manufacturer guarantees that every screen is an A+ grade panel with 0 dead pixels, which is a superior standard that puts it ahead ahead of many competitors. Looking at the overall design, the chassis of the Machenike L16 S uses an AHD mold, which many of you should be very familiar with. The A cover is still made of metal, the black paint finish uses an anodizing process, on top is an RGB electroplated mechanical logo, complemented by a solid color background. Below is a rather nice looking marble texture, designed to mimic the cross-section of marble, like countless twinkling stars. Additionally, the mecha-style lines on the chassis and the main plate on the side give the exterior a very distinct personality. The keyboard features single-zone RGB backlighting. The touchpad has a glass-like material. Both gliding and clicking feel quite good. For ports, on the left side there is a 2.5G Ethernet port, a full-function USB-C port with 10 gigabits per second speed, a USB-A port with 5 gigabits per second speed, and a 3.5mm audio combo jack. The right side has two 5 gigabits per second Type A ports. The high-speed ports are concentrated at the rear, including a 10 gigabits per second full-function USB-C port, a DC power-in jack, a mini DisplayPort 1.4, and an HDMI 2.1 FRL port. The power adapter is a 250-watt gallium nitride unit, which is a signature feature of this year's Tongfang-based molds. It's much more portable than the large power bricks of the past. The bottom panel is secured by 12 screws. Prying it open reveals the internal components. The cooling system consists of 3 height pipes and dual fans, with dual exhaust vents at the rear. 2 thick height pipes are responsible for cooling both the CPU and GPU, and there's an additional small height pipe around the GPU to cool the VRAM and power delivery components. The RAM slots are located below the CPU, covered by a metal shield that provides ESD protection. The stock configuration includes one 16GB DDR5 5600MHz stick. The stock SSD is located in the left M.2 slot and is a Yangtze Memory Technologies PC41Q, running at PCIe 4x4 speeds. Below it, the wireless card is a MediaTek MT7920, supporting Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3. Opposite is the 80 watt-hour battery, which uses a modular power cable to connect to the motherboard. The battery cells are split on either side of the cable, effectively increasing the flexibility of the internal lamp. Okay, time for the summary. As a laptop with the latest CPU platform, the current price of the Machenike L16 S is unprecedented, and its performance across the board is excellent. Although the battery life tuning still has room for improvement, it no longer has significant shortcomings compared to its competitors. The improvements of the new platform in all aspects translate into a tangible and substantial enhancement in user experience. Okay, if this video is helpful to you, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.